Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
You're playing with the devil's money. You don't know this guy.
Landman Season 2 just released a wild second episode as we finally understood what the main struggle of this season was. Now, it is time to talk about Episode 3. First things first, can we talk about Angela and Ainsley for a second? Because, honestly, I don't want to waste so much time on their scenes. In Episode 2, as usual, they turned a seemingly normal visit to the senior center into a wild scene that escalated far beyond anyone's expectations. Their antics, while entertaining, often tread the line between controversial and problematic. Not gonna lie, it is getting repetitive watching these two. We get it, they are shallow and impulsive people. Now, give us something interesting about them. I beg you. On the other hand, yet another woman in the show struggled with much more serious issues. Cammy Miller was served with a lawsuit revealing that a massive insurance settlement had vanished into her late husband Monty's personal accounts. Though Rebecca Falcone managed to delay immediate consequences, Cammy's instincts told her that the truth ran deeper than anyone realized. That night, she combed through Monty's files, uncovering troubling information that threatened the entire future of Antics Oil. The secrets, the debts, and the shady deals left behind by Monty were staggering, and for the first time, Cammy seriously considered abandoning the company her family had built. Even with Tommy's guidance, she couldn't ignore the depth of her betrayal and the weight of the legacy she had inherited. In the next episode, Cammy is in for a shocking and devastating revelation about her late husband. She discovers just how many secrets he was hiding. Think about debts, shady deals, and risky decisions that could completely jeopardize the future of Antics Oil. It's a lot to take in, and even with Tommy by her side to guide her through the chaos, she struggles to keep her composure. The weight of his betrayal is so heavy that she seriously considers walking away from the company altogether, tempted to sell it just to free herself from the mess he left behind. That's how deep her anger and resentment run toward the legacy of her late husband, and I already feel for her. In the meantime, Cooper lived through the best and worst day of his life. Every single one of his 6 oil wells had struck oil, a streak of luck so improbable it almost seemed unreal. But, as incredible as it was, the euphoria didn't last. Cooper came home, covered in oil and expecting Ariana to share in the celebration, only to find her tense, shaken, and clearly overwhelmed. She explained that she couldn't continue their relationship because the life he was chasing wasn't her dream. All she had ever wanted was a quiet, steady family life, raising their child in a close-knit household with loved ones nearby. It was honest and painful, and Cooper, struck by the truth, had no response. He understood deep down that the money would change everything between them, whether he wanted it to or not. Tommy later reminded him that fortunes like this often ruin families instead of saving them, and in that moment, Cooper felt that reality pressed down hard. By the next morning, Ariana had made her decision and sent him back to the Norris house, leaving him to face the fallout alone. Adding to Cooper's turmoil, his financial situation was far more dangerous than Ariana could have imagined. He had borrowed millions to fund the wells, without once seeking Tommy's advice, and the lender he had turned to was far from trustworthy. Tommy's investigation revealed the shocking truth. Cooper's debt was tied to a cartel, one with deep power and a ruthless leader who would not let him walk away from the obligation. The victory of striking oil immediately became a potential trap, and the weight of that knowledge hung over both father and son like a storm cloud. Meanwhile, Tommy was dealing with his own emotional baggage. His mother had passed away, yet he approached her funeral with a cold pragmatism, treating the arrangements as a task rather than a moment of mourning. It seemed disrespectful on the surface, but the emotional distance made sense once he confided in Cooper. Visiting his father, TL, at the retirement home brought old resentments back to the surface. Their long-standing avoidance of truth and unresolved grief bubbled up, forcing Tommy to assert boundaries while still processing the complicated father-son relationship he had grown up with. Tommy also opened up to Cooper about his childhood. sharing how he had been raised in a household marked by abuse and neglect, where his father was harsh and his mother unstable. His admission of having avoided fatherhood to prevent perpetuating that cycle was raw and revealing. Cooper, in turn, offered a simple, heartfelt reassurance, acknowledging that Tommy had done the best he could. The complications didn't end there. Tommy realized that confronting the cartel involved with Cooper's debt would be inevitable, and he also had to deal with the emotional fallout of seeing how much control his son had ceded to forces beyond his knowledge. This forced Tommy to start plotting how to regain influence over the business, including convincing Cammy to invest in a solution that could stabilize the company. In the next episode, Tommy comes up against Andie Garcia's character, who reminds him that a binding contract essentially makes him responsible for his son's new ventures, a reality that hits Tommy hard. He's forced to confront regrets about not being more present in his son's life, and it pushes him to take action. Determined to regain control and protect both his family and their business, Tommy devises a plan to take over the new refinery his son has built, and his solution involves convincing Cammy to invest, forcing her to confront the mess her late husband left behind. For more weekly updates on Landman Season 2, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.